Yo, we got the winner of the set. So, how do you feel about your victory? You made it.
That's about it. I feel like I honestly did not expect to win my pool coming into today, so that felt really good. Felt like I played really well for part of it, and I know that both Aaron and Cambo played really well, so I can feel very good about that win.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. Even if you're no longer in your prime, you still, at the worst, place 5th in the main bracket now.
That's not a bad thing. Yeah. I can feel good about that at least. Let's hope I can keep that going tomorrow. But in the meantime, we have Dan and Affergot. Now, what is this matchup, in your opinion, like for Yoshi?
So, I know on paper, Yoshis hate this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those where Palu has so many multi-hit attacks and explosive flame and neutral air and auto reticle that just take away Yoshi's double jump armor.
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked to Dan personally, and he has yet to have a problem with this matchup, probably because of the lack of Palus that we have in the state. But in addition to that, he also plays a lot with Ataraxia, who Vapor knows personally, a player from Tennessee that has he plays this matchup a lot in friendlies. So he feels pretty comfortable going in against Affergot. But Affergot, I would personally say, is probably the best Palu in the state right now. So who knows how it's going to end. Like, we still see it's fairly even with Dan still at 105. It depends on how fast Affergot can get the kill before the percent just evens up again.
Yeah, as of right now, it looks like both characters or both players are comfortable playing around each other's tools. So this doesn't look like a matchup in experience from either party. Dan is playing very well around Palutena's multi-hits and that infamous shield that eats everything and hits like a truck. But Affergot is doing a very good job of just adding nickeling and diming Dan to get that percentage so he can get an easier kill when he finally does get an opening. He needs to get something soon, though, and that almost did it right there. That Nair on the platform, he doesn't worry about the shield poke, but man, that still does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think the one that Affergot's going to have a big trouble with is that, from personal experience playing him, his main kills mainly come from getting those kills at the ledge from like a 2-framing down tilt into the back air, or just like charging up that up smash. But Yoshi doesn't have to deal with that kind of stuff, especially how patient Dan is using that double jump armor. Yoshi's going to live for a long time. Even though he died at 172, Affergot is already at kill percent right now. Just a single up air or a drag down back air forward smash is going to take that stock.
Yeah, it won't take a whole lot else right there, but that forward air does not connect into the up air because that percentage is a little bit too high. Could we get a little bit of a little case of arthritis here from that? Yeah. I don't think so, not with that back air sealing the stock, and Dan has a clean lead here, but Affergot has plenty of tools to make this back, and he's getting the Nair started.
We have a total of 4 Nairs connecting, get a nice 40% off. Gonna be a little bit closer to the end, but Dan using that Nair out of shield to be able to just even up that percent, and honestly, kind of playing a little bit of the safe game right now, kind of just hanging in the shield, waiting for Affergot to approach him, following up with those Nairs, and just knows like, hey, I have a whole stock lead. I don't need to run in. And if you're going to run in, I have a great out-of-shield option, and I can punish you just like that.
Yeah, as of right now, Dan's doing a very good job of playing the patient game and just spacing around the options that Affergot has around him. He's did a perfect job of spacing around that teleport onto this stage and just punishes that, and that's just a great example of what kind of a lead, or what this kind of lead does for his gameplay.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I think a good Palu needs to learn from is mixing up. Yeah, any Palu can learn how to teleport cancel, but can you mix up a lot of the teleport landings? That way it becomes too obvious and don't get punished very easily.
Right, and that opens it up for when you do actually do that. You don't actually put yourself in danger because the other player doesn't know whether to expect it or not. Right there, that was a little bit less of an issue of teleport canceling and more of an issue of Dan just punishing that jab, that multi-jab, because his F-tilt is just so disjointed. He got pushed back just far enough, and he got to finish the stock. If Affergot gets to keep this game a little bit closer, though, we might not see that so much in this game, too.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of game 2, we're going to going to small battlefield now. I think this is a really good stage for Palutena. It is small, but at the same time still have those great platforms, perfect for teleport canceling back to center stage.
I love the punish on that double jump. He just caught him that out of the nair into. He jumped over there to catch with the up air, and that gave him such a big opening. If he could have capitalized a little bit more on that last option, Dan was totally out of commission with that stock or with that advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah. Speaking of out of commission, I love Dan landing all those egg lays and knowing ideally what to do in that punish. And knowing the exact area that Affergot is in, knows I can get a ground pound, it's going to basically just combo into itself. And now I got a full stock lead. And using these platforms as an advantage is going to even up that percent so much more.
That is one thing Dan does really well. He is so good at closing stocks because he has so many tools. Oh, he just ran into that tool, though. That is such a long hitbox. Such an active hitbox from that up smash. But Dan is a very capable player of hitting some of the more unoptimal or not unorthodox options, like that drag down back air into F smash, into the jab lock, into everything else you can imagine.
Yeah. You can see Dan's trying to go for another egg lay right now, just as a way to kind of get in and grab a lot of extra percent. But Affergot is doing the right spacing. Speaking of spacing, really good egg lay coming in.
That egg lay gave 100% of the ledge straight to Dan, and that just gave him the opportunity to get this.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that down air from that high. Usually he uses it as a way to get a lot of percent off, not really as a kill option. So the fact that he decided to go for that was really smart on him.
Yeah, just the ability to threaten things, to threaten different areas is getting Dan a lot of mileage here. And Affergot is about to bring this back, though. It's a very even game if he can just take the stock. And he could take the stock with a good conversion or a good edge guard. And he just needs to get something into that back air at ledge or something along those lines to get this back.
Yeah. One thing that Affergot needs to be cautious about is because Dan is at that 130% range, that players are going to immediately think, oh, I need to get the kill. But that's going to cause a lot of mind games and forces your options to be very limited and kind of gives Dan an idea on what you're going to do and is able to get easy amounts of punish on it. For example, there's about 50% on Affergot right now, solely because he keeps on holding in, trying to get Dan off stage to get a kill.
I agree. He needs to be playing a little bit more patient here and looking for those openings. He needs to be holding advantage and poking and finding that area, that chink in Dan's armor to where he can actually convert that kill.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing that I think Affergot could really improve on is using that explosive that forces Dan to go very high with his recovery. And I feel like as Palutena, especially on a small battlefield, you should be able to catch Dan just covering that sort of height. So if you just the overall use of Explosive Flame, mix it up and go a lot higher, get an up air to get that easy kill.
I did like his use of Explosive Flame and the runoff off stage to try to cover a lower recovery option. I like the way he's using Explosive Flame to force two options and trying to cover the third. Kind of the same way that Game & Watch might use Chef and then or the bomb, and then try to cover where you might hit him otherwise. But that forward air and up air is going to take it. That is game 2 going to Mexidan as well.
Yep. This is about what I kind of generally expected to be in this set, where Dan's like I said, Dan's practiced this matchup a lot. It's one of those where a losing matchup, it's a losing matchup that he's confident in.
Yeah, Dan is looking very comfortable in this matchup. It doesn't even look like a losing matchup just because he's using his tools comfortably in this matchup. Mm-hmm. He's playing around the shield, around the nair, around some of the more oppressive moves very well. And his own offense is very well mixed. He's getting a lot off of different options, whereas Affergot is kind of going for the same kind of stuff. The rinse-repeat stuff that Palutena is known to be so strong and oppressive for being good with.
Mm-hmm. I think in this sort of matchup right here, especially with how it's going, I think this is solely relying on more of matchup experience and matchup versus matchup inexperience, where when you don't really see a lot of Yoshis in the state outside of Dan, especially where Affergot is from with Weatherford, Oklahoma, like there's not like the main tournaments you want to go to are the Metro tournaments, and there's not really a lot of Yoshis there. And meanwhile, like, you have Mexidan, who mainly travels across the entire state, not to mention recently been playing a lot of online solely for practice and learning that Palu matchup and matchups that even are still unfamiliar in the state. So it's one of those where you're fighting the best Yoshi in the state, but as long as you understand the matchups, it shouldn't be the end of the world, especially for our level of play. As long as you learn the matchups, any matchup is theoretically possible.
Absolutely. I don't think that there's a matchup in this game that is insurmountable, except at top level. At this level of gameplay, which I want to point out, Stillwater and the surrounding areas that are participating in this event have leveled up a ton since I last played this game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing everybody play, and we're no longer playing mash and run forward. We're playing the chess games. We're playing for conditioning. We're playing to successfully to our win conditions. And I just want to say how proud I am of this scene for how far they've come.
No, Sub can confirm on this one. Back like pre-COVID, Dan was a 1-2er at the Stillwater locals. And just seeing how he's improved so much to the point that now he's beating the top, like, number 1 in the state is so much how our community has improved within just the span of a couple years.
And I think that's just a testament to how hard everybody's worked, because everybody here has wanted to be better at this, and they've put the time in and the grind to get to where they need to be.
It's one of those things where I know for me personally, as someone who, I was like PR in Stillwater specifically, but like even though I've gotten worse results over time, it doesn't really account to how I am as a player, more of representing how the whole scene is and drastically improving. And something that like you just can't really be upset with yourself, more rather be proud of your scene, watching them grow this entire time.
Absolutely. I love that down tilt on the platform from Affergot after that shield situation to put Dan on the other platform. I'm loving some of these options that these players are using to just force these tech chase scenarios in these situations where the other player has a limited amount of options to avoid what they're going for. Like that egg right there, there was nothing true he could follow up off of, but because he hit that egg, he had so few options that Dan could pressure and get that kill with that back air.
Yeah.
And that down air is going to start something. We got a forward tilt up air, and this is a quick 70% just because he landed that one attack and cut off a few other options.
I got to give props to Dan. He does so good on those vertical combos. Like if he sees a pop up, you're going to be further up in the air.
That was almost the stock right there, but Dan is taking this convincingly, and this is looking like it's his set to lose as of right now. Affergot is really needing to dig deep and get something here, but this is it. This is an opening. That down air, nope, never mind.
Forward air isn't gonna connect, and you can tell that Dan is trying to fish for that final kill, trying to go for a drag down back air, but you can see, trying to play around that platform.
Something I love from what I'm seeing from Dan, actually from both players, is that their aerial drift is so solid, and they're both just using that to put themselves in position to threaten for their back air, their forward air. They're doing a great job of just hanging out in that space and making something of it.
Mm-hmm. They're not forced. They're not kind of forced to go to ledge. It's more about forcing yourself to get back. It's more like using all your tools to be able to get back to stage and spend the most time